Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteer distributes supplies to fire survivors in West Jakarta. NARLabs signs a memorandum of collaboration with cities for missions. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Indonesia, a fire broke out in the residential area of West Jakarta, destroying 153 houses and affecting 158 families. In the aftermath of the fire, survivors were evacuated to 3 shelters. City volunteers immediately distributed daily supplies and food to the affected residents. The fire survivors sit close to each other in the shelter in the aftermath of the fire disaster.
Of course, I feel sad. We cannot do anything about it. My mother has lost everything. I really feel painful in my heart. Besides escaping from the fire, we cannot bring anything with us. Now, we can only accept it with patience.
In the evening, I will go stay at my relative's house. There are too many people here. I'm afraid I to contact the virus.
In West Jakarta, a fire broke out in a village, destroying 153 houses, affecting 158 families. Fortunately, everyone's safe.
Kebakaran ini menimpa mereka yang di kelurahan Jembatan Besi.
This fire broke out in the village. We are worried about the residents, so we distributed aid supplies to them. We hope these supplies can reduce their burdens.
Paket kebakaran dan paket sembako semoga bermanfaat untuk warga yang tertimpa musibah kebakaran.
Inside the plastic box are blanket, clothes, and toiletries. Inside the paper box are rice, cooking oil, instant noodle, and sugar. The volunteers hope the supplies can help the affected residents get through the tough times. 14-year-old Syrian boy Osama Monther has Crohn's disease. Due to the Syrian civil war, he could not receive proper treatment. After escaping to Jordan, city volunteers have helped him undergo necessary surgeries. After 10 surgeries, his condition has been under control. While in the past he could only lie in bed, he can now play soccer. In May, city volunteers arranged for him to express his gratitude for his parents.
So today is Mother's Day.
Crossing his arms on his chest, Osama is curious about what surprises familiar to the volunteers are bringing this time.
More water? Yes.
Out of respect for Middle Eastern women, the feet washing ceremony has been changed to hand wash. Osama's mother has been looking forward to his big hug for a long time. This was Osama a year ago. At age 14, he was emaciated, so his mother was always sad and worried.
My child has suffered so much. May some kind-hearted people save him, please.
When Osama was 5 years old, he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. He could not receive proper treatment due to the Syrian civil war. Even after he has reached Jordan, no doctors dare to treat him. Fortunately, city volunteers reached out to him. 10 months later, there was a miracle. Osama has gained more than 10 kilograms and he can stand and walk.
Now that I'm healthy, when I grow up, I want to help people like you. I want to become a doctor and save lives for free.
Having known city volunteers for a year, this family has become different.
Master pray for Osama, so alhamdulillah, it's Master.
I pray that the master will be safe and healthy.
In May, the entire family prays together. Thanks to city volunteers' help, they're able to pursue a better life on this foreign land. Due to the pandemic, some low-income families in Malaysia are still facing difficulties. In Johor Bahru, the local residents came forward to Tzu Chi, hoping that they can assist them with aid supplies.
In Johor Bahru's Jingsi Hall, volunteers are loading the aid supplies onto a small truck. which were then sent to Karma Flat in Taman Perling because many residents are waiting there for the supplies to celebrate Eid al-Fitr.
They do not have work and are facing a shortage of food. They might not have any food left after this week. We contacted them and decided to help them. It just happened a person donated 25 packages of aid supplies, so we brought the supplies here for them.
I did not have a job for the past 2 months. Sometimes I only have rice, but I do not have any money.
Though the aid supplies were very heavy, the local residents carried them back home happily because it's their lifesavers.
I do not have a job now. To be able to receive aid from your NGO, I'm very happy and thankful.
Thank you so much for the aid supplies, which really are a big help for us.
Although the supplies have temporarily solved their daily meal problems, the residents have the same wish for the pandemic to end soon. They also hope that all of them can have a job so that their families can have a stable life.
In Zimbabwe, the lockdown continues, and therefore residents cannot go out to work or purchase food from a distant supermarket. Local volunteers decided to provide a hot meal a day for the children and seniors. On the first day, they fed about 186 children. Meanwhile, volunteers repackaged rice from Taiwan, ready to distribute them to residents in need. The difficulties faced by Naomi's family is common among families in Zimbabwe.
Due to the lockdown, we can hardly obtain food. My children cry when they wake up because of hunger.
Volunteers prepare a pot of sauce and another pot of rice. The children in the village rush here to get the food.
Some shopping centers are almost 10 kilometers from here, whereby people go and queue for foodstuffs. And within this period of COVID period, we decided to cook for food for these youngsters, the elderly.
We started providing food at 10 o'clock. We have to take social distancing into consideration, so we started early.
Children who have received food can no longer endure hunger, and they start eating rice. However, Naomi returns home directly without eating anything.
My husband is blind. I need to bring the food to him.
Thank you for providing this food. I'm very happy to receive the help. We are able to continue living.
The residents struggle as they take measures to prevent the spread of the epidemic. Volunteers work overnight to repackage the rice from Taiwan, ready to distribute them to the needy, giving them hope. Due to the pandemic, Thailand government has launched a restriction order. Many refugees have lost their jobs and were unable to go to doctors. City volunteers deliver living supplies to their doors. Let's take a look.
After the pandemic broke out, we have no job to do. Thai people don't dare to let us work because they are afraid of virus contraction. We can only hide in our house for the past 2 months.
In Thailand, refugees can work legally, so they can only work part-time to earn money. In these few months, many companies have closed due to the epidemic, hence their incomes were completely cut off.
Since March, the pandemic has gotten more and more serious. The refugees here already got very unstable jobs. Now that this difficult period comes, their jobs were all pretty much ruined.
City volunteers heard their hardships and came to share the great love that transcends religions and ethnicities. In Bangkok and nearby cities, volunteers visited the refugees to evaluate their lives, hoping to give them the help they need soon.
Today, we are here to assess for a day this week to distribute rice, cooking oil, salt, instant noodles, and some cookies.
有大米、油、盐、泡面，还有一些饼干类。
The heavy Tzu Chi living necessities bags were delivered to over 1,000 refugee families to ease their burdens.
Thank you for the living necessities bag.
Thank you for helping us and delivering the package to our door.
During the pandemic, it's crucial for the chronic patients to continue taking their medications.
Due to the pandemic, we can't host free clinics and the refugees can't come to have medical attention. We will also serve them and they can apply for their medications through line. We will send related information to the hospital and pick up the medicines after doctor's prescription. Then we will contact the patients and ask them to pick up the medicines from the office. If they are inconvenienced to come, we will deliver the medicines to them.
Volunteers also care for the refugees mentally and give them sincere wishes that everyone can survive this pandemic as soon as possible.
After learning that a high school in North Rhine lacked epidemic prevention supplies, city volunteers in Germany made protective masks and presented them as gifts.
The epidemic in Germany is under control, and its gathering restriction policy was gradually relaxed. The first time German Tzu Chi people met was to make protective masks. It's going to send them to a high school at Erft.
Students in school must wear masks for class, but when a teacher wears masks, the speech may not be very clear, so volunteers made protective masks together to send them to school.
This school has been the venue to Taiwan Lion Chinese School for nearly 20 years. Alumni parents took the course, and then the love of Tzu Chi entered the campus.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for donating 350 masks to school at Erfurt. Taiwan has cooperated with school for more than 20 years. The donated masks by Tzu Chi can protect the school staff and more than 1,000 students.
Being active in helping others without being asked is something that Tzu Chi has been doing, and a motto to encourage others.
The Taiwan National Applied Research Laboratories signed a memorandum of collaboration with the 4 missions of Tzu Chi Foundation. They hope to enhance medical technologies and spread knowledge to the rural areas.
The Taiwan National Applied Research Laboratory signed a memorandum with Tzu Chi Foundation on the collaboration in the fields of humanities, education, disaster relief, and medical equipment.
Medical advancement is never ending. We must learn and practice new technologies that are available nowadays. We need to use them to take care of our patients.
We are hoping that the AI development in the Hualien Medical Center can be sped up. And our superintendent, Dr. Lin Xinrong, also hopes to develop the AI system on better understanding the Parkinson's disease.
In the field of education, besides making knowledge available in more places by distance learning, we must use more technological advancement to strengthen the teacher's teaching so as to enhance children's learning.
As for popular science, for instance, in the remote areas of Hualien, our teachers in the association can work together to provide a better popular science education for the students from elementary schools to universities.
We can work together with the Tzu Chi Education Mission on equipment management and technology development, such as web page development and storage facility management.
With the collaboration in various aspects, it is hoped that the combination of charity and technology can provide more assistance to the public in the future.
NARLabs and Tzu Chi Foundation recently signed an MOU. They hope that through computer simulation and satellite imaging, volunteers will be able to better understand situational disasters. This way, they can better prevent future disasters.
Whenever there's a disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers will be there to assist. Over the years, Tzu Chi's charity mission has helped over 100 countries, and more recently, they've added modern technologies to assist.
那像在这个图当中，大家可以看到，红色的区域就是烧得很严重的区域。
Through satellite imaging, we're able to see the severity of the disaster area. Tzu Chi has worked together with NARLabs since 2011.
With the technologies, we can better understand the needs and condition of the disaster area. We can then send our volunteers in to help and also make sure the safety of our volunteers.
Besides, the imagery collected can also be used for further analysis.
We provide a series of satellite imagery for everyone, from the past up till now. We provide stages of satellite imagery so that we can better understand how the disaster formed, how it spread, and also predict where it will spread in the future.
A ship sailing in the sea, everything seems so realistic, but in fact, all of this is created by a computer simulation, and in the future, this technology will also be shared with the Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center.
At many times, we do not need to head to the actual site. We can use simulations to understand the details.
The new smart building is in the building process, and there are many aspects we can work together on, such as data transmission, 4K imaging storage, and calculations.
Through the collaboration of charity, humanity, and technology, it is hoped that there will be more seeds of kindness being planted in society.
Tzu Chi University accepted a record number of students for the 2020 academic year, with the acceptance rate at about 93%. Despite the COVID-19 epidemic, many students still show up for interviews. The school's performance has won the recognition of both students and parents. Here's more.
The result of applications for the upcoming 2020 academic year is out, with Tzu Chi University has broken historical record with 93% acceptance rate.
Now we have 16 departments and 12 of them have 100% capacity. I think under the low birth rate circumstances this year, we have proven that Tzu Chi University has won recognition from parents and students.
Take the College of Humanities and Social Science as an example. Most people worried about the future career potentials in these fields. However, Tzu Chi University opened the studies between different fields so that students can acquire multiple skills to be prepared for their future. Hence, it has attracted many students.
Regarding employment opportunities, our students can mostly find a job right after they graduate. Before they go to the work world, we will arrange many internships so students and parents can both feel assured about studying here.
In Tzu Chi University, students can enjoy the benefits of double degrees, global internships, international volunteering, remote learning, and exchange studies, the same abundant resources as top universities in the world.
Taiwan is a country with an active poultry and livestock industry. Some 90% of the eggs we eat come from hens in cages. It is an inhumane yet very efficient way to produce eggs. This farming practice raises questions about food safety. Here's our report.
Taiwan eggs are very convenient to obtain and are not expensive. It's one of the important sources of animal protein. According to the Council of Agriculture, Taiwan's annual egg production is as high as 7.3 billion, making eggs part of our daily life. However, few know about the poor environment of hens. In Erling Township, Jianghua, the building made from steel sheeting is an egg farm.
Actually, the production of eggs by hens in Jianghua County accounts for more than 40% of the whole country, which means that every 2 eggs we see at PX supermarket will come from Jianghua County. Especially in Erling, We have lots of farms and a very high number of laying hens, accounting for 10% of the country, with an annual production of about 2.3 million eggs.
Looking carefully, each of these farms utilizes a battery cage, which first appeared in the United States in the 1930s.
比较大格是3只的，这比较小格的是2只的，长宽不一样。
This high-density condition, keeping hens in cages of just 7 or 8 inches in size for an average time of 2 years, is an efficient and profitable way for egg farmers to operate. It can also prevent hens from coccidia infection. In fact, it is widely used around the world, though being confined in such a narrow space can be hard on chickens.
This chicken has no feathers on its neck. This is because of friction from the cage, and it may be an older chicken. And thirdly, it may be due to pecking each other, leading to less feathers.
In the end, they will attack each other by picking feathers. There are a few of them that will pick at each other. Another issue is anxiety. If you think about it, let's say that we are doing an experiment of putting us in a small space, such as just one tatami for half a year. We will eventually start to attack each other because we feel uncomfortable.
There are many disadvantages of this animal husbandry model. In such cages, chicken manure is processed only once after a long time, emitting foul odors and attracting flies. Also, the doors or gates around the chicken coop are usually open, often attracting other birds to feed, increasing the risk of chickens being infected with bird flu. Feed is also stored in a funnel-shaped bucket that is directly exposed to the wind and rain outdoors, which will inevitably deteriorate. Currently, the main breeds of layer hens are Highline, Isa, Hendrix, Lohman, H, and N. Nick. They produce either white or brown eggs, as these chickens are described as super chickens because genetic selection and breeding was done to increase their egg production rate. Because of limited land in Taiwan, according to statistics from the Council of Agriculture, some 93% of the eggs in Taiwan currently come from battery cages. When the science and technology of animal husbandry has made great progress, animal welfare and people's sympathy seems to have regressed. The key to this problem seems to be procrastination.
They just want something cheaper. We also hope for a better environment, but because consumers want it cheaper, we have more of these battery cages.
To be honest, if consumers don't support you, you can't sell eggs. Farming associations are willing to transform, but farmers continue to produce these battery cages as we are stuck in this bad cycle. So why do we want to consume this? Real consumption power is the most important thing. You have to use your purchasing behavior to drive transformation of the entire system.
Treating hens well will produce good eggs. The EU has banned battery cages since 2012. In Taiwan, the Council of Agriculture announced the guidelines of egg production systems in 2014. But whether this revolution will succeed, consumers occupy the most important role of inspiring such change.
City University of Science and Technology has broken its record of student enrollment. It shows that the parents recognize the school's professionalism and humanitarian spirit. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.